Intelligence is not what you think. It's not brilliance. It's restraint. Picture the smartest man in the room. He speaks early, corrects details, shows insight. You feel the tension in his chest, the mental itch to prove he sees more than others. He talks, and something subtle breaks. The room shifts. Authority drains. His intelligence just exposed him. Power doesn't reward sharp minds. It rewards controlled ones. When you reveal insight too soon, you give away position. You become useful, predictable, easy to frame. This is the danger most intelligent men never realize. Intelligence without concealment becomes liability. The urge to explain is not clarity. It's anxiety. Here's the warning. Once you learn how power reads intelligence, you can't unsee it. You either keep displaying what you know, or you learn to hold it. Real intelligence changes how people respond to you. Speak less, observe more, and watch hierarchy rearrange. Smart men assume intelligence protects them. It often does the opposite. Intelligence without concealment attracts control because it broadcasts pattern. When you speak quickly, explain thoroughly, and reveal how you think, you give others a map. Manipulators don't need strength, they need predictability. Verbal intelligence leaks position, intention, and timing all at once. Groups exploit this instinctively. Openness feels virtuous, but it creates handles. The more you clarify, the more you narrow your options. Each explanation commits you to a lane others can steer. You believe you're contributing. They're learning where to push. The urge is biological. Smart men are rewarded early for being correct, articulate, and helpful. Over time, that reward trains disclosure. When pressure arrives, the mouth opens faster than the mind settles. Tension spikes. You feel the need to prove understanding to maintain status. That need is leverage. Expressive intellect seeks recognition. Observing intelligence seeks advantage. One fills silence to demonstrate value. The other uses silence to extract information. The expressive man corrects errors publicly and earns momentary praise while losing long-term influence. The observer lets errors stand, studies reactions, and keeps options intact. This is the mental shift. Intelligence is not expression, it is containment. The smartest move is often not to speak, not to solve, not to signal superiority. It is to watch how others behave when they believe you are neutral. When you reduce verbal output, unpredictability returns. People stop forecasting your moves. Their tactics weaken. Conversations slow. Power rebalances. Smart men become controlled when their intelligence is obvious. They become sovereign when it is unreadable. The difference is not how much you know, but how little you reveal, and when. Control follows visibility. Power follows ambiguity. Choose containment, timing, and restraint, and watch leverage shift without conflict, spectacle, or explanation across rooms, roles, hierarchies. Dark intelligence is not about appearing smart. It is about arranging reality. These 9 laws convert cognition into leverage and replace expression with control. Law 1. Observation precedes influence. Influence without observation is noise. Players watch patterns before acting. Pieces act to be seen. When you observe first, you map incentives, fears, and alliances. That map becomes advantage. Law 2. Silence multiplies intelligence. Words spend information. Silence earns it. Every pause invites others to fill space, revealing priorities and limits. Calm silence signals surplus. Reactive speech signals need. Law 3. Reveal less than you know. Disclosure narrows options. Withholding preserves them. Share conclusions rarely and methods never. Let others assume simplicity while you retain depth. Law 4. Let others expose themselves. Do not interrogate, position, and wait. People volunteer truth when they feel unopposed. The more neutral you remain, the more they confess through tone, timing, and contradiction. Law 5. Control timing, control outcomes. Speed favors the prepared observer, not the eager speaker. Delay turns pressure into clarity. A late move reframes the board and forces recalculation. Law 6. Never correct perception publicly. Public correction creates enemies and anchors frames. If accuracy matters, adjust outcomes privately. If perception rules, let error stand and profit from it later. Law 7. Emotional neutrality sharpens cognition. Emotion compresses vision. Neutrality widens it. When provoked, slow physiology first. Thought follows breath. Calm men think in ranges. Reactive men think in corners. Law 8. Power prefers ambiguity over clarity. Clarity invites extraction. Ambiguity protects maneuver. Be precise in action and ambiguous in narrative. Results speak. Explanations weaken. Law 9. Intelligence is positioning, not brilliance. Brilliance shines briefly. Positioning compounds quietly. Place yourself where leverage accrues regardless of applause. Notice the contrasts. Players observe, pieces perform. Players wait, pieces rush. Players arrange, pieces react. Dark intelligence is restraint practiced daily. Applied together, these laws produce opacity. Opacity frustrates manipulation. Others cannot predict, pressure, or pigeonhole you. They adjust instead. The internal shift is decisive. You stop proving intelligence and start deploying it. Speech becomes intentional. Silence becomes active. Timing becomes weaponized. This framework is not antisocial. It is selective. Speak when it moves structure. Stay quiet when it feeds ego. Over time, rooms recalibrate around you. Power responds to what cannot be rushed. When intelligence is contained, influence expands. When intelligence is displayed, influence contracts. Hold this rule. Think broadly, speak narrowly, move precisely. That posture keeps you ahead without confrontation. Master these laws and intelligence stops leaking. It starts shaping outcomes while others debate appearances, unaware the board has already been set. Each law compounds the others. Observation feeds silence. Silence feeds ambiguity. Ambiguity feeds timing. The system closes loops that reactive men leave open. Players design interactions so advantage appears accidental. Pieces chase clarity to feel safe. Safety is expensive. It costs leverage and invites oversight. Dark intelligence favors ranges over points. It prepares contingencies rather than promises. When conditions shift, the prepared observer pivots without apology. Calm versus reactive is the central divide. Reactivity seeks relief. Calm seeks options. Options are power because they expand choices under pressure. Practice looks mundane. You listen longer. You speak later. You move last. Over time, this reverses who adapts to whom. Expect resistance. People accustomed to your explanations will test silence. Let them. Tests reveal dependence. Independence attracts respect. Do not confuse secrecy with deception. Concealment protects process, not truth. You owe outcomes, not narratives. Intelligence becomes dark when it serves positioning. Positioning determines who asks, who answers, and who waits. When you stop correcting, others start adjusting. When you stop explaining, others start listening. This is the discipline. Contain insight. Release impact. Use these laws to build asymmetry. Asymmetry wins without noise. Over months, the reputation forms. You are hard to read and harder to move. That reputation is leverage stored in memory, not moments. And with patience. Patience keeps intelligence sharp and power aligned. Remember, brilliance attracts comparison. Comparison attracts rivalry. Dark intelligence avoids rivalry by dissolving comparison. You do not compete. You reposition. This posture scales across rooms, negotiations, and hierarchies because it conserves energy. Energy conserved becomes optionality later. Optionality is the currency of power. Spend it deliberately. Every conversation is a market. Do not flood it. Scarcity elevates value. Restraint creates scarcity. Choose restraint. Return to observation. From observation, choose timing. From timing, choose action. Action completes intelligence. Without spectacle, without confession, without apology. This is the quiet edge. Keep it and move. That is dark intelligence. Use it and carry these laws quietly into rooms where noise dominates. And watch outcomes tilt as others speak themselves into corners you never enter, Because patience preserves leverage while brilliance leaks it under pressure, always with witnesses watching and learning fast today now. In the workplace, a discussion opens and data is incomplete. Obvious intelligence speaks first. Old you fills gaps, corrects numbers, explains logic. The room nods, then relaxes. Your map is now public. Tasks, objections, and credit drift away from you. You feel the familiar urge to add more, tightening the knot you just revealed. Dark intelligence waits. You listen for incentives, not facts. You note who rushes, who hesitates, who frames risk. When you speak, it is late and narrow. One sentence that redirects timing. No proof, no method. The meeting bends. Decisions follow you without applause. In social settings, obvious intelligence performs. You connect ideas, finish stories, demonstrate insight to earn belonging. Laughter lands, then momentum stalls. You become entertainment. People approach you for answers, not alignment. Dark intelligence reads temperature. You let others talk themselves warm. You ask one neutral question and stop. Patterns surface. Alliances appear. Your silence becomes space others fill. Influence forms without display. In conflict, obvious intelligence corrects publicly. You point out inconsistencies, cite facts, seek fairness. Accuracy wins the moment and loses the war. Pride flares across the table. Resistance hardens. The argument continues because you fed it. Dark intelligence lets errors stand. You slow the exchange. You acknowledge emotion without validating claims. Later, outcomes shift quietly through timing, allies, and context. The record changes without confrontation. Across each scene, notice the internal pivot. Old you explains to feel safe. Sovereign you withholds to keep options. One trades clarity for control. The other trades control for clarity. The behavior change is simple and brutal. Speak later. Say less. Move last. When pressure rises, breathe and observe. Intelligence stops leaking and starts positioning you where outcomes decide themselves. Over time, people stop testing you. They sense depth they cannot read and adjust accordingly. This restraint signals sovereignty, preserves leverage, and shifts hierarchy without spectacle, proving that dark intelligence wins quietly while obvious intelligence chases applause, loses options, invites control, and teaches others how to move you next, again, repeatedly, everywhere, eventually, always, anyway. Dark intelligence compounds where perception decides outcomes. In status games, negotiations, and leadership paths, leverage grows from reading incentives and choosing timing. Here, restraint signals capacity. Silence buys information. Ambiguity protects maneuver. When others rush to clarify, you gain options and shape the board quietly. It backfires in emergencies and transparency-driven systems. Crises require speed and clarity. Concealment delays action. Regulated environments reward documentation, disclosure, and traceability. Opacity invites suspicion. Power adapts. You switch modes without ego, trading ambiguity for precision when systems demand it. The crucial distinction is strategic concealment versus insecurity. Concealment is chosen. It preserves posture, eye contact, and steady pacing while withholding methods. Insecurity hides to avoid exposure, breaks rhythm, and leaks fear. One expands options, the other collapses them. Observers feel the difference immediately. Ethical calibration keeps authority intact. You do not deceive to dominate. You withhold to protect process. You speak when speech advances structure, not when it suits anxiety. When accuracy matters publicly, you correct privately or through outcomes. When perception rules, you let noise pass and move position. Think in incentives, not virtues. If openness increases leverage, open. If silence increases leverage, stay quiet. Mastery is selection, not stubbornness. The internal rule is simple: never sacrifice outcome for applause. Dark intelligence serves results, preserves relationships, and avoids unnecessary enemies by choosing the arena before choosing the move. That judgment prevents backfire, maintains trust, and keeps power durable across roles, timelines, and pressures. Used correctly, Restraint reads as confidence and care. Used poorly, it reads as evasion. The difference is intent, timing, and accountability. Choose clarity when lives, contracts, or safety depend on it, and ambiguity when leverage depends on patience alone now. The upgrade begins when you stop performing intelligence and start containing it. Expression feels rewarding, but containment is powerful. You no longer rush to demonstrate understanding. You let understanding sit quietly behind your eyes. What you know does not need witnesses. Detachment from being seen as smart is the turning point. Approval is a tax on strategy. The moment you stop seeking recognition, your thinking sharpens. You are no longer competing for status through words. You are positioning through presence. Calm perception becomes dominance. When others escalate, you slow down. When others explain, you observe. When others react, you remain neutral. This contrast is felt immediately. Stillness suggests depth. Depth creates uncertainty. Uncertainty shifts leverage. Power lines anchor this identity. I don't need to prove insight. I decide when to reveal. Silence is not emptiness. Silence is storage. These are not slogans. They are operating principles. Strategic unreadability is not secrecy for its own sake. It is discipline. You choose opacity where clarity would be exploited. You allow outcomes to speak instead of narrating process. Over time, people stop trying to read you and start adjusting to you. Internally, anxiety drops. You are no longer managing impressions. You are managing position. That freedom restores bandwidth. Thinking widens. Timing improves. Moves become cleaner. This identity is quiet but absolute. You are no longer transparent by habit. You are selectively visible by choice. That choice is sovereignty. Stillness is the first signal. Dark intelligence does not rush the body to keep up with the room. Shoulders settle. Movement slow. That physical calm communicates surplus before a word is spoken. Pacing follows. Responses arrive later than expected. Not delayed enough to appear confused, but slow enough to break rhythm. This pause forces others to continue talking. In that continuation, they reveal motives, priorities, and insecurity without being asked. Dark intelligence lets people expose themselves. You do not interrogate. You allow space. Silence becomes an invitation others cannot resist filling. The more neutral you remain, the more information flows toward you. Neutral reactions are cognitive control. When provoked, your expression stays level. When praised, it stays level. Emotion does not hijack perception. That steadiness signals authority because it shows you are not governed by stimulus. This is why behavior around you changes. People explain more. They test less. They soften demands and sharpen respect. They feel the weight of being observed without being judged. Nothing about this is aggressive. It is gravitational. When you stop feeding noise, the room reorganizes around your calm. Dark intelligence does not announce itself. It is inferred, felt, and quietly accommodated by others naturally. For 7 days, practice restraint as a skill. Each day, choose environments where conversation flows and opinions surface. Your rule is simple: observe first, speak last, if at all. Do not correct errors. Do not finish sentences. Do not over-explain. When asked directly, answer briefly and stop. Let silence do the rest. Regulate the nervous system. Slow breathing. Relax the jaw. Keep posture open and still. When the urge to prove insight appears, note it and let it pass without action. Participation is optional. Observation is mandatory. Track what people reveal when you do less. Notice shifts in pacing, tone, and deference. By day 3, the impulse to perform weakens. By day 7, patience feels natural. Information accumulates without effort. End the week by reviewing outcomes, not impressions. What changed when you withheld commentary? This discipline installs dark intelligence quietly, replacing expression with leverage. Across contexts, hierarchies recalibrate around you. Intelligence becomes power only when it is concealed. When displayed, it invites comparison, rivalry, and control. When contained, it shapes outcomes quietly. There is a cost. Dark intelligence repels shallow minds. People who need constant clarity will drift away. Those who feed on explanations lose interest. This is filtration, not isolation. This is a contract with yourself. You agree to observe before speaking. You agree to value timing over brilliance. You agree to let results speak while process remains private. From this point forward, you will not correct for applause or explain for comfort. You will choose ambiguity when leverage depends on it and clarity when responsibility demands it. Remember the line that anchors this path. Think broadly, speak narrowly, move precisely. Strategic awareness is not secrecy. It is discipline. Discipline protects position. Position shapes outcomes. Carry this quietly. Let rooms adjust. Power responds to what cannot be rushed, predicted,